Okay. Well, I guess it'll only be to TikTok. Something went wrong with Facebook, but I'll be able to fix it. How y'all doing, family? Um, we are live on TikTok. Um, Today we'll be going over God's rare message and how rare God's message is. What's up, TikTok? Usually, on Bible study, we study God's His heart, His character, and His timing. And as we've been going on for a while, we've been going over lately. Uh, what is the greatest religion ever? And then that end up leading into another study that we end up doing, where it's the day that Jesus may return. And as we dig more into today, we're going to just look at how rare God's message is. So just kind of getting you up to speed. It's a crash course. Of course, I'll be able to post my brother's YouTube, Jim's the artist on YouTube, where you'll be able to find all of those Bible studies that we have been doing. Also with me is I'm not just Dolo. I'm here with my Be Stronger Courageous family. Be Stronger Courageous family. Do y'all mind saying what's up to TikTok, YouTube, and of course Facebook?
What's up? Yo, what's that? Hello, everybody. Blessings. What's up?
What's up, family? So today, of course, like we said, we're gonna be diving in more into how rare God's message is. And before I start, I want to ask a question of like, does anybody know how like jewelers determine if a diamond is real or even if it's a diamond at all?
The clarity. There you
The clarity,
go. Color clarity.
the clarity, the color. Anybody else know how like they determine any other ways? Because they got a lot of ways.
They put it under microscope. Look out, see how it looks. Under so many times dimensionally closer that we can see with our negative eye. I mean, our negative eye.
Our negative eye. Yeah. So, say that one more time.
The prism and the dimensions of the diamond.
Thank you. Sorry about that, y'all. I got to move you guys.
Will it hold up to the pressure?
Will it hold up to the pressure? Yeah. One of the ways that I had looked up as I was looking at how to determine it, and what it came to find out is the tool that they use. Like Pastor Derek has said, like the little mini microscope test thing that you ever seen. If you ever seen those movies where they look at a diamond and they're examining it, that tool that they use is called a loop. And what it does, of course, you get to see the inside of it, and you get to see and determine if it's a diamond, what kind of diamond, the clarity of the diamond, and all of those things. And so the reason that I even brought that up is because as we are diving into the word is being able to know what you're looking for, because that's one of the biggest parts of being able to determine if a diamond is real or not, right? Not only do you have the tool to look in the diamond, but you also have to know what you're looking for. So here it is that they have this tool that they use, as well as knowing what they're looking for. So as we're diving into the word, we are going to be able to not only know what we're looking for, but we'll be able to use this as a tool that when we come across certain situations and when we are presented with the word, we'll be able to know the clarity of the diamond. Is it a diamond? Is it cubic zirconium? Is it lab grown? Is it You'll be able to know all of these things. Go ahead, bro. No, go ahead. You got something?
No, everybody's saying better put it to the test.
Put it to the test. And that is the importance of why we continue to like dive into the word, because we know like a time that like about the end times, like that's what we've been talking about, and we know that during the end times there's going to be a great deception that's going to happen, and the only way to really not get caught up in that deception is to know for yourself what clarity of diamond it is. So that is the purpose of like of really studying the word, is really getting to know what you're looking for, to be able to put those things, like bro just said, you'll be able to put those things to the test. So as we're going to go through this, of course, you know I love to start in the beginning because of God's consistency. I love God's consistency to be able to show, because you know the word says, you know, the Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And we get to see how consistent God's character is when we see from the beginning how he's been operating consistently, consistently, consistently. So I know today's message is, how rare has God's message been, or, you know, how rare God's message is. And just for short, God's rare message. So let's start from the beginning so we can get to see everything. Of course, we're going to start with Noah, but we're going to read through a lot because I want to give a full picture of Noah's time. As full as we can get, right? As full as we can get. So, of course, we're going to start in Genesis 6, 5 through 8. And then we're going to finish out with 9 through 13. So, if someone can, Genesis 6.
5 through 8, you said?
Yes, sir. We're going to start there.
Verse 5, the Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. The Lord regretted that he had made human beings on the earth, and his heart was deeply troubled. So the Lord said, I'll wipe from the face of the earth the human race I have created, and with them the animals, the birds, and the creatures that move along the ground, for I regret that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord.
So here it is. Just starting in the beginning. Noah is 9 generations away from Adam. So 1,500 years in, wickedness has gotten so strong where God is just like, he has decided, I'm going to start over with Noah, this man that I have found to be blameless and righteous. So wickedness, so since the beginning, since the fall from the garden, 9 generations later, wickedness has gotten so big and so has run so wild that God has now decided that he wants to start over. So we're going to continue to dig and continue to show, just so we can get a full picture of all of this. So, bro, can you read 9 through 13 now?
Yes, sir. Sorry. This is the account of Noah and his family. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight and was full of violence. God saw how corrupt the earth had become, for all the people on the earth had corrupted their ways. So God said to Noah, I am going to put an end to all people, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth. So make yourself an ark of cypress wood, make rooms in it, and coat it with pitch inside and out. This is how you are to build it. You said the 15, bro?
No, just 13.
Okay, my apologies.
No, you good. So we're gonna go to two more places. So you see, he said, this wickedness has come to a full. He's telling Noah, in God's sight, it was full of violence, and he saw how corrupt the earth had become. And then he said, I'm going to put an end to all of this. I'm going to put an end to all people, for the earth is filled with violence, and because of them, I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth. And as you can see from the rest of 14 down, he gives him specific instructions on how he wants him to maneuver through this. But like I said, we want to build a full picture of everything. So I want to go to two more places. And one of the places I want to go to is in Matthew 24, where Jesus speaks of Noah's time. Actually, yeah. Let's do Matthew 24. I want to go to 37 through 39. Building a full picture, and then we will dive deeper. And I'll read it, and it says, as it was in the days of Noah, so it would be at the coming of the Son of Man. For in the days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark. And they knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them all away. This is how it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. I want you also to hold on to that. That specific scripture in 39 will come in handy a little bit later. But you see the fullness said that the days before the flood, because the Lord told Noah like he was going to flood the earth. That's in the rest of Genesis 6. If you continue to read, you'll see all of the things that he's telling Moses. He wants him to build an ark because he's going to flood it. He's going to start this all over, but he's choosing Noah to start over with. And it's giving this part, I wanted to point this out because it gives the perspective of the thoughts of mankind during that time. It said people were eating and drinking, marrying, giving in marriage up until the day that Noah entered the ark. And they knew nothing about what would happen. They knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came upon them. So they were out living their best lives. They were out focusing on anything while God is giving Noah this message that's saying, prepare because I am getting ready to destroy everything. But I want to get like the final piece of the puzzle. And that's in 2 Peter 2. We're just going to read verse 5. You got me, bro?
Yes, sir. You said 2 Peter 2, correct?
Yep.
Okay. But there were also false prophets among the people, just as there will be false teachers among you.
Just verse 5, bro.
Oh, I thought you said 1 to 5.
No, you good. I got you.
Okay. If he did not spare the ancient world when he brought the flood on his ungodly people, but protected Noah, a preacher of righteousness, and 7 others. Okay, verse 5?
Yeah, just verse 5.
Okay.
And I just specifically wanted that part just to give so we can now have like a full perspective of that time. So we have the full context of we could see like of Noah's time, right? 1500 years into creation, mankind has gotten so wicked that God has decided he would start over with Noah, who was blameless and righteous in the sight of God. The rest of the world was all like focused on themselves and like just living their best life. Eating and drinking, marrying, giving in marriage. While they was thinking of nothing about what God was getting ready to do. But I wanted to point out that specific part because it said Noah was a preacher of righteousness. So, what do you think Noah was telling them? Anybody? What do y'all think Noah was telling them?
I'm sure he was telling them, you know, that God wanted what God wanted was. I'm sure he was trying to warn them of what was about to come. Because I mean, if he has righteousness, I mean, I'm sure he cared about other people. Just trying to get their awareness, like trying to, basically just trying to alarm them of what's to come, alert them of what's to come.
Right. So, what do you call it when someone wants to let you know what is about to come?
Prophet.
So, it's prophecy. He was letting them know, but they did. It said that they didn't know about it. He was a preacher, but they didn't know about it. He was a preacher of righteousness and telling them what is to come. Hey, the Lord is getting ready to do something, but they didn't know about it until so you could hear it, but not care about it. You ain't really. How do you quench the Holy Spirit?
All the prophecy would continue.
You think that's what they was doing?
Most definitely.
So here it is, like if you go and you read like the genealogy in Genesis 5, you can see like not only does it list, it goes down to give you the specific lineage of Noah. It also says like these men, every single one that they list had other sons and daughters. So we know the earth is full of people. But you have one who is trying to tell everyone destruction is on the way. Turn from whatever wickedness that you're doing. Live righteously. But they not worried about it. Is it like I said? Is it they drinking, partying, giving in marriage, all of the focusing on living their best life. So you have this rare message of a million people in one person. You ever seen like how even like today when we have concerts with musicians, if it's not for that microphone and that equipment, that stadium not hearing that artist. So you have one person that how rare that is to be in a room in a world full of people and the only person that care about it is you and your few. So not only did he have to know, he also himself had to not only know, not know, he knows of what's to come, but he can't himself treat it with contempt. So he has to hold on to it. Go ahead, bro.
I just went back to Genesis 5, and like you were saying, looking at the genealogy, and even when Lamech, his dad, and the fact that he said he had other sons and daughters, so therefore his brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, there's people that I'm sure Noah knew, you know what I'm saying, that possibly was out there just doing, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm off, but just something that.
No, he lost brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Like they wasn't trying to hear none of that, but it just goes to show just like how rare God's message is and what it takes. Because like you just said, bro, he has family, you have people that you care about, you may have friends, you may have all of this, but he has to, you know, the mindset that you have to have in this walk Because he said, if anyone loves mother, brother, sister more than me, you're not worthy of the kingdom. You're not going to do the work. You're not going to do it to the end. Moses is going to build the boat. Man, my family think I'm crazy. Let me chill out. But he had to endure into the end. He can't treat it with contempt. He can't treat it like, man, it ain't rained yet. Man, I've been building for 50 years. I've been building for 2 years. Ain't no, he can't treat it with contempt. And I wanted to point it out just to show just how rare that while you have one person holding on to it in the midst of, I don't know how many people was there during that time. And we get to see but what we do know was that everybody else treated it with contempt. They didn't know about it until he entered into the ark. Like, and this is going to continue to go, and it's going to continue to kind of hit in that same point, because we're going to keep diving into the word, because of course we know a time is coming where something similar. Because of course we just seen Jesus said, this is how it will be when the Son of Man comes, when he returns. We know when the golden censer comes. Nobody's going to know until it happens, because everybody is stuck on, no one knows the day or hour. For the majority part. So it's how rare we get to see how rare this message is, and also how important it is. Because we got to endure it to the end. So we're going to keep digging. So we know about like Israel being, as we're going to move it forward, we know about Israel being called to be a light to the Gentiles, and how disobedient they were, and it get to a point where they became more wicked than the surrounding nations. So God had to send them into captivity in hopes that they would return to him. So we're going to go and we're going to look at that rare message and just see, right? So let's go to, I want to start in Jeremiah 25. I'm going to do 1 through 12. Jeremiah 25, 1 through 12. Because before they went into captivity, God tried to tell them what he was going to do and what they need to do, but they refused to listen. So let's read about some prophets who tried to warn them. That's why we're going to Jeremiah. I'll read 1 through 12.
You want me to read for you, bro?
If you will, Mama Sue.
Yeah. The word came to Jeremiah concerning all the people of Judah in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, son of Josiah, king of Judah, which was the 1st year of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. So Jeremiah the prophet said to all the people of Judah and to all those living in Jerusalem, for 23 years, from the 13th year of Josiah, son of Ammon, king of Judah, until this very day. The word of the Lord has come to me, and I have spoken to you again and again, but you have not listened.
Wait, can we stop right there right quick, Mama Sue?
Yep.
So we see Jeremiah is a prophet. He's telling them for 23 years he has been coming to them, but they have not listened. What did we say just before? How do you grieve the Holy Spirit? By treating what?
Prophecy with contempt.
Y'all not listening to me. Y'all don't care about nothing that I'm saying. I've been trying to warn y'all about what is getting ready to happen. I've been trying to tell y'all, thus says the Lord, plainly, for 23 years. And I also want to note, because we're going to keep going with Jeremiah, but I just want to note and just keep in your minds, this is the 4th year of Jehoiakim. The 4th year of Jehoiakim. So let's keep on going. I just wanted to say that. Sorry, Mama Sue. Keep going.
You're fine. Stop anytime. And though the Lord has sent all his servants, the prophets, to you again and again, you have not listened or paid any attention. They said, turn now, each of you, from your evil ways and your evil practices, and you can stay in the land the Lord gave to you and your ancestors forever and ever. Do not follow other gods to serve and worship them. Do not arouse my anger with what your hands have made. Then I will not harm you. But you did not listen to me, declares the Lord, and you have aroused my anger with what your hands have made, and you have brought harm to yourselves.
Yeah, stop right there one more time. So the rare message that Jeremiah had from them was to turn from all of this wickedness that they were doing. But the majority of them were holding on, condoning, and doing all of the wicked things continually, thinking that they good, thinking that they were doing the right thing. Is how rare God's message is, even to his own chosen people in this moment. So I just want to point that out. Let's keep going, Mama Sue. Gonna finish out. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I want to read it again. But you did not listen to me, declares the Lord, and you have aroused my anger with what your hands have made, and you have brought harm to yourselves. Therefore, the Lord Almighty says this, because you have not listened to my words, I will summon all the peoples of the north, and my servant Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, declares the Lord, and I will bring them against this land and its inhabitants and against all the surrounding nations. I will completely destroy them and make them an object of horror and scorn and an everlasting ruin. I will banish them from them the sounds of joy and gladness, the voices of bride and bridegroom, the sound of millstones and the light of the lamp. This whole country will become a desolate wasteland, and these nations will serve the king of Babylon 70 years. But when the 70 years are fulfilled, I will punish the king of Babylon and his nation and the land of the Babylonians for their guilt, declares the Lord, and will make it desolate forever.
In the 4th year of Jehoiakim, Jeremiah prophesied this. He's telling them that he had been coming to them for 23 years. And for 23 years, they have not listened to him at all. And the rare message that he had was to turn away from the wickedness. And now, since they have not listened, he has another rare message that the Lord has sent them, because they have rejected his pleas to return to him. And that rare message now has become 70 years. For 70 years, they are going to go into captivity. said, I will banish the sounds of joy, gladness, the voice of the bride and bridegroom, the sounds of the millstone and the lamp and the light of the lamp. This whole country will become a desolate wasteland. This message seems doom and gloom, but it is. Because of the disobedience, because the wickedness has gotten so great, they have turned from him. Those that he had called to be an example, to be a light to the nations, have now become more wicked than those around them. So he's sending them through this process that hurts, and it's going to hurt, but it's in hopes that they will return back to him. The Lord chastises those that he loves. So as he's delivering this rare message, we gonna fast forward a little bit and go to chapter 28 to see if they held on to these words, or like they've done before, treated it with contempt. So let's go to chapter 28. You still in Jeremiah? And I'll start off reading because I'm gonna jump around. And it says in the fifth year, in the 5th month of that same year. This is not the same year from from chapter 25. That's not. But it says in the 5th month of that same year, the 4th year, early in the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah. So now this is a whole another king. The 4th year of a whole another king. And it says the prophet Hananiah, son of Azur, who was from Gibeon, said to me in the house of the Lord, in the presence of the priest and all the people, this is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. I will break the yoke of the king of Babylon. Within 2 years, I will bring back this place all the articles of the Lord's house that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, removed from here and took to Babylon. I will also bring back to this place Jehoiachin, son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, and all the other exiles from Judah who went to Babylon, declares the Lord, for I will break the yoke of the king of Babylon. Is that what we read the Lord said in chapter 25?
No, sir. No, sir.
What did he say in chapter 25, bro?
He said, what he said was after the 70 years, then he will bring them back to the land. Then he will make Babylon a subject to all the other nations and stuff like that.
So yeah, so now after 2 years, so they once again treating prophecy with contempt.
He spoke too soon.
Speaking of his own delusions. So not only, and that was 2 kings ago. So when Jehoiachin, and now it's Zedekiah. And they still treating prophecy with contempt. But this is the prophecy that they want to be circulating. This is the message that they want to be circulating, that it's peace and safety. Peace and safety. All of these good things is going to happen for us. But the message is that 70 years you guys will be in captivity. And how many people was in Israel at this time? Do anybody know? Just a roundabout number. Anyone?
Probably like 3 million.
Probably about
That
3
was
million. In the millions, right?
yeah, I was like 2. I don't know why I want to say it was like between like 2 to 6. I believe. I don't know why I think I heard 6 million before. I know it was deep. I know that much.
So even if it's just one, right? How many people was holding on to the message that Nebuchadnezzar was coming? How many people was prophesying it?
Just that one.
It was 2. Ezekiel also.
Ezekiel,
Yeah.
I thought you mean like.
No, yeah, just in that chapter, yeah. But during this time, yes, Ezekiel also was prophesying to the exiles. So if it's just 1 million people, right, and there's 2 that has this rare message, that's only 0.0002% that was speaking God's message. That's rare. Like I had to look up just like kind of like how rare that is, what kind of percentage. There's probably a possibility of there's more people who have the natural red color eyes, and they have less than 0.1%. That's less than 0.1. That number is less than 0.000. Like you have a higher chance of winning your local pick 3. Rare. So like we said from the beginning, this the reason we going through this is just to show, because we know that a great deception is getting ready to come. Right? We know, of course, we know destruction is on the way, but a deception is getting ready to come. So if we're not examining the word to see God's heart, his character, and his timing, we can get caught up in a deception. We could be getting sold cubic zirconium when the Lord is trying to give us diamonds. He wants to let us know about the things to come. He want to show us the things to come, and these things are surely going to come. But if we're not looking through his word and seeing it for ourselves, we can get lost in the sauce. So of course, like the final place that I really want to that we're gonna go through is Revelation, so we can see just how it'll be in the end times. Because like we've done a lot of studies on the end times, and if you would like, I could share them to you, or if you DM me, or especially if you're on Facebook or TikTok and you know me, you have my number. We could chop it up. You could call me or anything, because we've done a lot of talks about the end time. So more than welcome to hit me up. But I'm going to do a crap, because I'm going to kind of go through this a little fast. Like I said, that's why I'm saying you can hit me up if you want. But we're gonna do a crash course so we can set up the scenery of a little bit of what it'll look like during the end times, and how rare God's message will be. Because the eternal gospel will not be preached until the end times. But I want to show what it looked like during that time. The same way that we kind of did with Noah. We got a perspective a little bit, because Jesus had told us how to be during that time, where a lot of people won't be caring. A lot of people will be focusing on marrying and giving in marriage, drinking, partying, all of these other things, and living their best lives, and getting caught like a thief because they have treated prophecy with contempt, or have been led away because these religious systems have set it up where they stopped searching for, because we have been stuck at the no one knows the day or hour. So we're going to go through a little bit of setup and give a whole sneak peek. Like I said, we have more in depth studies on YouTube and Facebook. We have our brother James, the artist, of course. We also have our sister with Sword Nation that went through all of the apocalyptic prophecies. So, like I said, I'm more than welcome to share them with you. Or if you want to just hit me up and you want to go through it with each other, you got my line or my DM is open. So, yeah. But as far as we're gonna keep moving forward, now we're gonna go to Revelation 7, and we're just gonna read 1 through 4 right now. Like I said, we want to build up this whole picture of showing just how rare God's message is. And one of the things is like, yo, there is a lot of how do I want to say it? It's a big misconception of how the end times even look. A lot of people think it's 7 years, but if you read Daniel 12, you'll see that it's only 1,335 days. A lot of people have this religious anxiety, or they have this anxiety that Jesus can come back at any moment. But it's a process that he go through. So saying those things just so as we get ready to give a picture of what the end times will look like. So I want to start here. Bro, you got me?
Yes, sir. You said 1 through 4?
Yes, sir.
After this, I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds of the earth to prevent any wind from blowing on the land or on the sea or on any trees. Then I saw another angel coming up from the east, having the seal of the living God. He called out in a loud voice to the 4 angels who had been given power to harm the land and the sea. Do not harm the land or the sea or the trees until we have put the seal on the foreheads of the servants of God, of our God. Then I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 from all the tribes of Israel. You said 1 through 4, 1 through 5. 1 through 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Give me can you guys still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that. So here we have excuse me. Here we see 4 angels holding back 4 winds that are set to harm land, sea, and trees. And it's being held back from that time, right? But it cannot happen until the 144,000 servants have been sealed. What is it called when someone asks for wrath to be held back on your behalf?
Intercession.
Yeah.
Intercession. So we see this intercession that is happening until these servants are sealed with a seal on their forehead. So no wrath can come on the land, sea, and trees until these 144 citizens, these 144 of God's servants are sealed. Yeah, citizens, right? Give me 1 second, family. I'll be right back. Sorry about this. Sorry about that. So yeah, intercession is happening. Nothing can happen till these citizens are sealed up. Now let's see what happens after they are sealed. Let's go over to Revelation 8. We're going to go through 2 through 5.
2 through 5?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I saw the 7 angels who stand before God, and 7 trumpets were given to them. Another angel who had a golden censer came and stood at the altar. He was given much incense to offer, with the prayers of all God's people, on a golden altar in front of the throne. The smoke of the incense, together with the prayers of God's people, went up before God from the angel's hand. Then the angel took the censer, filled it with fire from the altar, and hurled it down on the earth. And there came peals of thunder, rumblings, flashes of lightning, and an earthquake.
So here it is. We get to see that once the intercession is done, here comes this destruction that comes upon the land, sea, and trees that we just saw, right? That we saw was being held back until they were able to. Now, if you read through 7 through 9, those in verse 2 where it says the 7 angels were given 7 trumpets, if you read through the first 2, which is like I said, in the same chapter in verses 7 and 9, you'll see all of these things that get to happen. I mean, all of these things that happened. A third of the earth was burned up, a third of the trees, and all the green grass. And the second one blew, and something like a mountain, all the blaze was thrown into the sea. A third of the sea was turned into blood, and living creatures in the sea died, and a third of the ships were destroyed. So you get to see this devastation that comes once the 144,000 are sealed, which we know that this is the Great Tribulation. So through all of this, the servants now have this, and through all of this destruction and chaos, 144,000 will be preaching the eternal gospel. Like I said, it's kind of a crash course of just showing you a glimpse of how devastating and how destructive that time will be. But if you go back in Daniel 12, when it says, blessed is the one who waits for and makes it to the end of the 1335 days, we get to see that these 144,000 will be doing a work, not for those total days, because as you go and watch the more in-depth prophecy videos, you'll be able to see in more detail, in greater detail, everything that goes upon. But on the crash course, I just want to show that they will be doing the work and holding on. Though all this devastation goes on, and the wickedness and the beast that comes out of the sea tries to come up and bring back some sense of normalcy, God's eternal gospel will be the rare message. 144,000 people, right? And if we go over to Revelation 6, and read 7 and 8, it says, when the Lamb opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th living creature say, come. I looked, and there before me was a pale horse. Its rider was named Death, and Hades was following close behind him. They were given power over 1/4 of the earth to unalive by sword, famine, and plague, and by the wild beasts of the earth. So 1/4 of mankind will be unalived around that time. So 144,000 will be doing the work, will have God's message. And it'll be rare because 144,000 out of 6 billion people, because that's 1/4 of the 8 million that the 8 billion that we have now, only be 0.0024%. So starting off, that's how rare this message is. Starting off, 0.0024% will have his message. But they will not be the only ones that hold on to the eternal gospel. If you read back in Revelation 7, you see that there's if you go down to verse 9, and it says, after this I looked, and there before me was a great multitude that no one could count, from every nation, tribe, people, and language, standing before the throne and before the Lamb. They were wearing white robes and were holding palm branches in their hand. So it ain't the 144,000 aren't the only ones who hold on to it. It's a great multitude that's innumerable that be able to hold it. But just in the start of it, it's that rare that only 0.0024% will have. And it'll be on you to hold on to what they are saying. And we have to put that into practice now for how rare God's message is, of knowing that what is about to come. What decisions are we making now? Because when this great destruction come, will we be self-preserving? Will we be for self? Will we live for self? Will we move for self? Or will we be obedient to knowing what God has called us to do, to be, to say? That's how it's a rare message. 144,000 that's spread out throughout the world. They're not even just in one place. So like, yo, imagine multiple big piles of hay, and you have to find a needle on all of them stacks. So I really just wanted to point out that, like I said, I know it's a crash course and it's seen everywhere, but like I said, my DMs is open. You have my phone number if you know me. I'm more than willing to go through it with you so we can get more in depth. But that's how rare this message is. That's how rare his message is. That's how much it sticks out. Why everyone is focusing on, said, like the days of Noah, people will be drinking and giving in marriage and marrying. No one knew until the flood came. Though Noah was a preacher of righteousness, though we know that he was telling them, he not only was he saying it, but he also was living it. So you can see the ark. When you look at the dimensions of how big that ark is, that's hard to be able to, you can't miss that. So that's how rare his message is. My brother always tells us, like, spend a lot of time with God and a little time with self. Not only do you need the loop to be able to examine, to see if a diamond is real, you need to know what you're looking for. And spending that quality time with the Lord and his word would allow you to know what's real and what's fake. You'll have that rubric to know the tree by its fruit. So that's what I'm presenting for you guys today. Zoom, if you have anything that you want to add before I end the stream.
Yeah, it said something about the loop and actually having it to know the difference between the two. So therefore, with the final in the end, with the Antichrist is when that is given to you, basically like when you better point out to the people on Facebook and stuff, what do you mean when you say like because the counterfeit is coming, you know what I mean? So So as far as like something that could be presented as the truth but be false, like how you talk about Cuban zirconians and stuff like that. And what I'm getting at is like when the Antichrist speaks like the looks like the lamb but sound like the dragon. But you know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at as far as like that being a counterfeit, but it can be presented as a diamond, even though we know this message and everything from God is the true diamond.
Yep.
So, you know, basically like running that down for them if possible.
Yeah. I'll end up having to run through that. I hear what you're saying. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. Go ahead, Pastor Derek.
I like how you broke down how and reinforcing how rare this message is. It's kind of like if you were sold a rare car or something rare. That's the selling point on how rare the item is. It's only 10 of these or 100 of these. So it brings the buyer's perspective of the item that they're getting is so rare, which makes it so valuable. I really like how you use the example of diamonds, because not only all of the examples that we all use for diamonds, what makes diamonds rare is because the criteria to be a very high cut color and clarity, the triple C's high cut color and clarity of diamond is a very tight criteria. So there's a lot of diamonds that come out of the ground that are thrown away. And it keeps the market value up. And I won't get into those details, but it keeps the diamond itself, the product of a diamond, very, very rare, the price high. So just sharing that message and comparing it to a diamond and understanding like the rarity of those that'll keep it pure, to keep the color, to cut the clarity, to keep it rare, to keep it righteous, to keep the biasness away, to take us away from it, and to share this message in its pure form is very, very rare. So I just wanted to share that, bro.
You know, I appreciate that, bro. So Facebook and YouTube and TikTok, thank you guys for showing up. Like I keep reiterating, you know, my DMs is open. If you have my phone number is open. You guys will be seeing more of me. So until next time, peace.